Charlie with 4BZ Truth, contemplating the cosmos once again. Wanted to check in and say hi to everybody. I see More Than a Flame showing up. What's up, Joel? I actually have some pretty cool stuff I've been looking into lately, and I wanted to go over that with you guys. I've kind of been on a bit of a, you might say, a sabbatical. I wanted to take a little break from YouTube a little bit. I mean, I kind of have done a live stream here and there, but yeah, Buried Axe Blade, how's it going? So yeah, my stream tonight is basically going to be talking about a rabbit hole that I've been going down with this concept of portals. Now, everybody knows about portals, right? We've all kind of been raised into, the mythology of portals and all kinds of different things like video games. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff that you hear about portals. Now, I actually stumbled onto something that I really wasn't even looking into necessarily until I was talking to a friend of mine. Now, I actually already addressed this in a previous live stream, but I wanted to really unpack some of this stuff, just like really get into the meat and kind of show you the rabbit hole I've been going down. It kind of starts with this conversation that I had with a friend of mine. Now, I always like to discuss these deep issues with people so that, we can kind of contrast different perspective. And that's one of my favorite things to do with people, just understand where they're coming from. I can always tell when somebody is authentic, when they're not just regurgitating what they were taught, and they're actually doing a little investigation of their own. So Buried Axe Blade, all the pre-spring allergies as it warms up in North Carolina. I actually have been enjoying the high 55 degrees over in Idaho. It's freaking beautiful. I wouldn't mind 55 for the high for the rest of the summer, but I know it's going to get into the 80s and 90s and hundreds once it hits like the end of summer. But anyways, hopefully I'm just kind of giving a few people time to trickle in here. Yeah, I'm waiting a little bit until people start trickling in. So yeah, I'm going to jump in. So get ready, everybody. This is actually kind of a deep rabbit hole, and you may have not considered a lot of the things that I'm going to show you. So without further ado, I want to actually pull up my my screen share here. Share screen. Sorry, I'm not very hold on. I'm not good at multitasking either. Let's see, application. Yeah, I'll just share the entire screen. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So if anybody has any trouble viewing anything, let me know. Oh shoot! Shows how rusty I am with what I'm doing here. Let's try this again. I just exited out of my screen. What the heck? Oh, I had to stream. I see. Oh. All right, here we go. So, all right. So I'm going to pop over here. Now, I have a list of videos that I saved to what I call portals / vortexes. And these are kind of a little bit of everything when it comes to, anything from other dimensional access points in archaeology. I have, Avengers talking about portals and kind of a scene that they did, which I'll probably start with showing you guys that video. And then I have stargates, and then gateways found in the sky, and then I'll get into the rest of the videos. I'm kind of alluding to toward the end here. So you guys got to stick around till the end, because that's going to be the icing on the cake, all the stuff I'm going to be talking about. It's crazy. So yeah, let me just play this video real quick here. Let me know if you can't hear very well, but hopefully my internet works. Wow, it's really struggling.
Now with Taco Bell's app, you can build your own $5 cravings box. Because you know when you crave a Taco Bell. So
blah, blah, blah. So this is Captain America. Oh my gosh. Hopefully I don't have to fight this internet thing. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit so you can kind of see where the portal pops in here. Ah, here's a portal. People walking through this Stargate type of thing. My internet's not working very well. Maybe I'm going to have to rethink this whole thing, because internet's moving pretty slow. And we have portals opening up. So this right here is the concept of kind of the Doctor Strange, you know, pulling the power out of, you know, the cosmos. That's, anyways. Okay, well, I'm going to skip that one. Here, let me pop back into the stream real quick and see if... Okay. So I see that Meteor Man's here. I apologize if my internet is lagging, but if it is, I'm kind of seeing how it's going slow. Yeah, Meteor Man, I'm glad you're here. And then Becky, hi Becky. I guess I haven't visited quite enough. I'm still waiting for a bunch of people to pop in here. But anyways, I'm going to keep rolling here. Let me flip back over here. Okay. So here we have the concept of portals, right? So here's the Avengers. You know, this is kind of the mythology that stems, or, you know, kind of our version of the mythology of it. Now, there are things that are a little more detailed, or even ancient history, you might say, as to what it is they're talking about with portals. This is just kind of a stone wall that you'll find over in Peru, I think it is. And they call it the portal to the gods, I think. You know, it's obvious that people kind of believed that you could teleport or something through these little gateways. You know, and another aspect of the mythology is the mythology of the underworld. You know, you have, you know, gateways that actually take you to what they call the underworld. And I consider that the gates of Hades. So when you say the gates of hell will not prevail, is actually making reference to the gates of Hades, or the underworld. So I think that something has entered through gates And therefore everybody had this mindset that you could actually travel through dimensional portals, right? So and I actually pulled up the gates of Hades as well. So there's an actual cave, and there's something. Where is it at here? They carved in the wall here. This is called the Caesarea Philippi Gates of Hades. So I don't really know if that's a cave that just runs into the earth like really deep and people just travel to the underworld, or if it is an actual portal. Now, I want to expand a little bit on portals because I think the representation of portals in the Avengers video that I was playing actually is pretty specific about it being some electromagnetic, power that they harness through like chi or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of different ways to tap into the power, and apparently it's not talking about necessarily a cave that leads to the underworld. I'm talking like there's some sort of electromagnetism involved. And now I want to talk to you about what my friend and I were talking about, and that is the Montana vortex. Now, if you're not familiar with the Montana vortex, I kind of talked about it a little bit, but you can kind of see over to the right this house that's kind of cattywampus, just kind of built sideways, basically. Now, the weird thing about this is you have people that, you have little images like people standing up sideways. Now, that's pretty much an optical illusion because of the way they built the house. But I wanted to point out one thing that was really weird to me, and that is they have the House of Mystery, but they also have trees that are growing sideways and stuff. And then they also have, where is it at? Now this guy right here is somebody in the video that I was going to talk about. His name is Joe Hauser, I think. He's the owner of the Montana Vortex, and I've actually reached out to him. I hope to eventually interview this guy because, well, you'll be pretty amazed at some of the claims that he's making. But the other thing that I wanted to point out is basically these electromagnetic anomalies. Oh, here's another weird picture. These are things that you see at the Montana Vortex. These trees that grow funky. And there is a measurable electromagnetic anomaly, I guess you could say. You could measure the electromagnetism. And let's see, what is this? Well, anyways, now this is the thing that like where people are standing across from each other and then they switch places. Like they kind of look the same height here, and this area is level. But when they switch places, he actually looks like he'd probably be 6 or 7 inches taller than her. So I wanted to just real quick show you. Actually, I'm going to flip back to the live stream real quick here. So I see a few more people have showed up. Yeah, so Meteor Man has been waiting for this one. Buried Axway light is always a circle unless it constrains by external parameters. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. So You know, I'll just kind of give you a preface on why I decided to venture down this rabbit hole. So this guy, Joe Hauser, he's the owner of the Montana Vortex. Now, there are other vortexes that exist throughout the world. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands, some that have been identified and some that haven't. And I think that the interesting thing is that he makes some pretty crazy claims. And so this guy interviewed him. His name's Dave. Well, I'll just show you the video real quick. And then that way, hold on. Let's get out of this. I want you to see this video. Let me know if you can hear it okay. But so yeah, this video came from the Can-Am Missing Project. And I'll just let you see it real quick and then we'll talk about it. Oh, come on.
This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond.
So Dave Politis here with the Can-Am Missing Project. I'm here with Joe Hauser, the owner of the Montana Vortex. And I'm going to have Joe introduce himself and his background.
Well, my name is Joe Hauser. My background is in biology, and most recently about 16 years of quantum physics. I was a wildlife biologist in California, did environmental consulting, and basically I've been living in the woods just about all my life, except when I was a kid, I lived out in the desert. I got to Montana a few years ago by buying the Montana Vortex and House of Mystery to research electromagnetic energy fields, try to put some science behind what happens here.
So Joe, what kind of work did you do before you got here?
Well, mostly the 10 years or so before I got here, I did environmental consulting for power companies in the western United States, primarily Pacific Gas and Electric Company in California.
And how would you explain the vortex to somebody who's never been here?
Well, the vortex is a natural occurring phenomenon. It's one of several known vortex fields in the United States. And basically, it's a swirl of electromagnetic energy that's measurable. And you can also feel it and experience it.
So I've been here several times, and I definitely can say it's a very, very odd place. And since you've been here, have you seen things happen that aren't consistent day to day?
Yes, it's probably on a day in, day out basis. It's probably one of the most paranormal places in North America. There's just lots of strange things happen here, from thunderbirds flying over, from Bigfoot showing up to orbs, UFOs, just all kinds of different things that happen here.
Have you ever had people come out here that were scientists that have studied it?
We've had different people on the grounds before that have studied it and measured the energy field, and most of them are just kind of perplexed about what goes on here. The vortex really defies the laws of physics and gravity the way we know it.
So behind us, what is this?
This is the House of Mystery that's at the Montana Vortex.
And what goes on here?
Well, we do a guided tour in the vortex field, and we show you about 18 different demonstrations in the energy field, both inside and outside the House of Mystery. And so we'll go inside the House of Mystery and do several demonstrations in there.
And there was a time where you had a camera in here.
Yes.
And you had a monitor in your house. And just explain overall what kind of things you saw.
Well, we had the camera here. It was an infrared at night vision camera, and then in the day it just shot regular video. And it was wireless, so we could monitor it in the house. And a couple of years ago, we had the infrared alarm was going off, and I happened to see I went inside to look, and I saw a giant orb right in the center of a great big blue ring that kind of looked like a portal. And I knew there was an SD card in the camera because I had taken it out earlier, so I got my cell phone and I recorded it. And then a couple of minutes later, we actually had what appeared to be a Bigfoot that came into the frame, had wide shoulders, kind of conical shaped head, And it just walked around a little bit in the house. The mystery looked back, took a look at us, and then it just kind of morphed up into this light being and floated away.
What this does is to prove once again how powerful that symbol.
And if you come down to the vortex and you ask Joe, you may even be able to see that picture. It's bizarre. He came and did a conference for us in Denver. It was probably the highlight of the conference, I got to say. So, Joe, this location, does it have a tribal connection to the local area?
Well, the Blackfeet have the longest oral history in the area, and they're actually on the other side of the divide. But years ago, they treated this as their territory or their area. And they believe the vortex is a spot to be honored, kind of a sacred spot. Many of the Native American elders come here and perform ceremonies. But they also call it a place of no return. It's part of their oral history. At some point in time, somebody disappeared and never came back. And that goes along with vortexes being portals into other dimensions or worlds.
So in my research, I've always claimed that where people disappear, there's always an association with water. Are we close to big body of water here?
Yes, we are about just about 100 yards or less away from the Flathead River, which runs right behind the property.
And is there any kind of UFO connection to this?
Well, there's tons of UFOs that are sighted on Columbia Mountain, which is right across the road from us. It's been a UFO hotspot for years. And we typically, not every night, but a lot of nights that we watch, we'll see anywhere from 1 to 10, 15 UFOs fly in and out of the mountain. We've also seen them hovering over the vortex grounds here. So there's definitely a UFO connection here too.
So explain to the audience exactly where we're located.
We're located about 2 miles outside of Columbia Falls, Montana, on the way up to Glacier National Park. And the vortex has been here as an attraction for 50 years, but the energy field has been here forever because it is naturally occurring.
You know, one of the things the last time I was here, Joe showed me was there are these round areas in the forest here where nothing grows. And the trees around it grow in odd shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Explain that.
Well, the energy of the vortex really twists and turns the trees depending on where they are in the field and the forces exerted against them. And basically, we have about 6 acres of twisted turn and bent trees on the vortex grounds.
So the energy twists and turns the trees. What about the people that go inside the house right here?
It actually twists and turns them too. Most people feel something, they get dizzy, disoriented. Some people feel a pressure in their chest or on their head. And almost everybody comes out with some sort of experience like that. We like to call it Sedona on steroids. Many people have been to Sedona and they never feel anything, but you come to the Montana Vortex, you'll definitely feel it.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use.
So one thing that I have personally experienced is going in here and taking photos. And you have a wall up here where you have some of the photos that other people have taken, and they're just bizarre. Can you explain that?
Well, the energy of the vortex, what we feel that we're experiencing quantum physics at the macro level, where you can see it and experience it on the ground. So many of the photos that are taken in the vortex, people partially disappear in photos. Some days people completely disappear in photos. Some days extra people show up in photos that weren't even in the house at the time the photo was taken. We get orbs, literally some days thousands of orbs show up on the grounds, and all kinds of different anomalies like that.
Why is that happening?
Well, it's in an energy field, and we are all energy ourselves. And in quantum physics, we know there's particle wave theory, where you could be a particle or a wave. Particles are solid, waves are not solid. So when you're in this energy field, you're basically just part of the field, and strange things happen inside of it.
So what I like to tell people about this location is, if your house wasn't here, they would drive right by it and just think it's part of the woods.
Right.
So that always, in my work, missing people, I always think, well, how many other locations similar to this are in the woods that people don't even know about?
Oh, there's probably hundreds of places in the woods, yeah. They're an anomaly in the sense that there's about nine known vortex fields in the United States, but generally there's many more in the woods, and you could be walking through one and you would never even know it. And unless you got in there and you could feel the energy, stuff like that. And some people have claimed that there's different places around where they've walked through and they've got dizzy or disoriented, just like they do here, twisted and turned trees. That's how it was originally, the Blackfeet originally discovered there, but officially it was discovered in 1970 by a lady by the name of Marge Hubber. And Marge had no idea what she discovered. She just knew from time to time her and all her friends and relatives would feel weird or get dizzy standing on the side of this hill where this house is right here. And it literally scared the heck out of her and her husband when they first got here. They crawled out. They were so dizzy on their hands and knees to get out of the field.
So I was telling you today that a friend of mine who I brought through here, and he said, oh, you know, there's got to be a big giant magnet under the house, and that's what's doing all these anomalies. And you said something interesting to me. Go ahead.
Well, when I first got here and I was thinking about buying the vortex, I actually crawled underneath the house and I was looking for wires, magnets, anything like that that could create the field. And I even went up to the lady who owned it and I go, okay, where's the switch where you turn the power on? And she goes, no, there's no switch. It's real. It's natural. So yeah, I crawled all over underneath there.
So what would you have said if 30 years ago somebody said you'd own the vortex?
Oh, I would have never believed it. No, I would have never thought I would own.
All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and stop the video here. There's some other interesting stuff that they're talking about, but I wanted to point out something real quick. Now, this guy, Dave Politis, he actually, I followed over to his channel. Really quick, I'll just click on here. And you can see he has a pretty large following. He has basically everything that he does is really just pointing out missing people that are, you know, very unusual cases of, you know, people that either don't ever show up, and it's like obvious that, you know, I kind of went down this rabbit hole and started listening to a lot of these cases. And then he pointed out that he has a documentary called Missing 411. And then he has Missing 411, The Hunted. So there's two documentaries they have on free YouTube documentaries. And I think they're both extremely interesting, and you guys should watch both of them. But I specifically like the one that was talking about Missing 411, The Hunted. It has that like deer skull or whatever on the front. In fact, let me see if I can bring it up real quick here. So Missing 411. Oops. Yeah, there it is. So that's The Hunted. Gosh dang it. Fat fingered it. So Missing 411, The Hunted is the one movie, or it's actually part 2. And then now as I was going through, oh, this is the first one, Missing 411. This is the original documentary they did. Now there's all these unusual cases. Some of them actually do turn up, but they're like really unusual finds as far as like they scour the land with 200 people that volunteered to help search for the missing people, and they went back and found them in spots that they had already searched. So they like disappeared and then reappeared basically, and it's really weird stuff. But that's kind of the gist of you know, Dave Politis's mission, I guess. Now I learned later that his son, I actually emailed Dave Politis, and I'm like, I want to interview this guy. He has so much interesting information. And then I realized after I had emailed him that his son Ben actually died. I think he might have committed suicide, but I didn't actually hear all the details as to what happened. But I'm telling you, like, if you actually embark on some of this information, I'm telling you, like, the powers that be, or the spiritual powers that be, I don't think they want you to know what's going on. And ever since I started looking into this, I've been feeling like so freaking dark. I've been feeling like I need to take a break, because I've been feeling like it's so dark, learning about all the people that are missing. The first missing 411 video that I watched, or the documentary, was depressing. It was very depressing, because it was literally talking about like kids that go missing, like 2-year-olds. And it's more real to me because I have a 2-year-old, right? So I can't imagine, a 2-year-old going missing and you just don't know where to find them. And it's just like, you're helpless. And all you can think about is like this little 2-year-old that is, can't defend themselves against anything, like a freaking bear or a, like a mountain lion or something came and got them. And it's like, what? That's horrible. It's depressing. And then I learned about this freaking, his son, Ben Politis. I kind of wonder, like he was so depressed. He was having struggles like bipolar depression and stuff like that. And honestly, I think that when you dive into this rabbit hole, you start realizing, holy crap, this is dark. And it almost seems like they're entering into portals and they're disappearing, or maybe even being abducted by aliens or something. I know a lot of people that follow me are like, they don't like to, consider the alien thing. The bottom line is there is weird anomalies about these missing cases. And I just wanted to point all these things out. If you haven't gone to Can-Am Missing Project, I think you should look into it. And then also you should look into the Missing 411 documentaries, because they're extremely interesting. But again, I think that the Hunted, that's like the sequel, is the one that's more interesting to me. In fact, let me play the trailer real quick here, and then you can see it for yourself. Bear with me a second.
Tom, you around? We missed him. Simply vanished. Generally speaking, hunters are very experienced and knowledgeable outdoorsmen. And so when one vanishes, you know something unusual has occurred.
As a hunter, you're like, I'm fine, I'm armed, I'm safe. There's no reason for why these people go missing.
They never found anything. Not the walkie-talkie, not his gun, nothing.
Obviously, an animal didn't get because there'd be a big scatter. These define.
The FBI doesn't investigate missing adults. So then why would the FBI arrive on Tom Messing's case?
When you see hundreds of victims scattered throughout our national forests and national parks, you have to question the reality of it.
So he could have made fire. He had a gun, he could have signaled help.
What happened to him?
I'd like to know, but I don't think we ever will.
Whatever it is, it's big. And we started recording them.
Our frequencies go way above and way below the abilities of humans.
I left and I'm thinking, what is this thing in the trees? It went from like tree to tree, and then it disappeared.
Is it possible for an 82-year-old man to simply vanish while sitting alone in the woods? Can a man with severe hypothermia hike 6 miles through snow with no shoes? This is one of those recurring phenomena. It's going to happen again. It's just a matter of time.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, that is freaking very good documentary, and I think everybody should watch it. All you got to do is look up Missing 411, and then it should bring up The Hunted. Anyways, so with that said, I don't know if there's a delay. It looks like there's a delay on the video. Anyways, I'll just keep talking. I'm watching my phone as I'm talking, and it looks like it's a little bit behind here. So anyways, I'm just gonna kind of go to the next phase here. So like I went down this rabbit hole. I started looking into these missing people cases, one of which were like in eastern Idaho, and I'm actually in Idaho, and I actually think I remember hearing about that case from about 4 or 5 years ago. So it's crazy to think that, you know, they had that one in the documentary. And the first Missing 411 documentary, actually this one right here. You know, it got me thinking about, you know, these portals, right? You know, the underworld, the gates of Hades. And with all my research about near-death experiences, I started realizing, wait, these near-death experiences, they're literally going through a portal, like a tunnel, right? But it's like a portal that they're entering into another realm, right? So, gosh, my thing is delayed. I wonder. Anyways, hopefully it catches up. It might not. Oh well. I'll just keep talking. So anyways, but yeah, so as far as the near-death experience thing, it made me think about, you know, they talked about the Montana vortex kind of screwing with your head. I got to tell you, I'm going to pull up Sedona real quick. Sedona, Arizona, city in Arizona. Okay, so this right here, you got to see some of the images. Now, it's beautiful. I mean, everything there is just beautiful. I went to a little thing called, it was kind of off the beaten path. I explored Sedona a little bit, but I went to this right here, which is the, I mean, they talk about it being Sedona. This is not Sedona. This is actually, what do they call it? Why isn't Montezuma's Castle? I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So anyways, yeah, I went on a little vacation to Arizona, and I hit a bunch of different spots. Now, as you see in this picture, it's talking about a Sedona vortex. I think that stuff is real, because when I went through there, I felt like this spacey weirdness. Like I felt like I had a weird connection with the area. And when I went back home to Idaho, I actually felt like I had a weird drawing to this area. And so one of the other areas that I went in Arizona was actually really weird. And it's called, what is it called? How do you spell it? The top? No. Here, bear with me a second. See if it pulls it up. I'm not spelling it right. Top key. See if Google knows how to no. Here, I'll look up Pueblo ruins in Arizona. Ruins in. Oh yeah, this one. So the yeah, Wupataki. That's what it is. I freaking said it wrong. But this right here is. I'm telling you, when you go to these places, they're like ruins, the Pueblo ruins, and they actually had this arena that was kind of like. Let me see if I can show you guys a picture. I believe this is it. Is it this? Yeah, oh, this one right here. This one, definitely this one. So I'm just telling you, I feel like it made me feel like I had some sort of weird spiritual connection to the area. And it makes me feel weird saying it, because it almost makes me feel like I'm carrying a demon around with me or something. And I just wanted to, here, let me flip through I'm seeing a bunch of people talking on the messages here. Let's see, Torque Auditor, Satan will run from the truth and from God. Satan does not run from Jesus or from man, only God. Okay. Yeah. Let me flip back to the stream real quick here. So yeah, I can see a bunch of you guys are messaging on this. Yes, it is with Top Key. I wanted to show you that. I mean, it's freaking crazy. Yeah, Montezuma's castle was pretty cool too. Montezuma's revenge. Let's see. Meteor Man says it's open season on people in national parks. Becky, Charlie, have you read the Book of Enoch? Actually, I have read the Book of Enoch, and I intend on reading it again because it's been a while. And honestly, I was looking through a different filter. And honestly, when you read certain information, you kind of you don't catch everything when you're looking through a certain filter. So I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, I'll read the Book of Enoch again. Let's see. Yeah, so if you guys haven't been to Wutopki or Wutopki Pueblo, it's freaking really awesome. And it's in northern Arizona, over by Flagstaff. My great aunt and uncle were the first there. They have a book. Oh. Anyways, but let me flip back to the screen share so I can show you what I was talking about on the next portion here. So Gates of Hell, near-death experiences, Montana Vortex, and then the missing 411. And then the next thing I was going to talk about was CERN. So as as I've really pointed out in the last little bit here, everything is electromagnetic in nature, and we are electromagnetic in nature. And anyways, so CERN is electromagnetic in nature. Now, obviously, people know if they've done any research about CERN, we'll see this little statue of Shiva, and a lot of people. My cat's like vomiting over there. But that's the weird part, is because if you look at this image of Shiva, let me see if I can find a bigger one here. Oh yeah, this is bigger. See if I can pull it up. Of course, I can't make the image bigger, or can I? Aha. So if you look at the picture, you'll notice that Shiva is standing in this circular looking thing. I'm going to tell you right now, it reminds me of a portal, right? So now Shiva, I didn't really do all the research about this, but you can see that Shiva has different arms and legs or whatever. Anyways, I don't really want to get into too much about that because I didn't really look into the Hindu religion aspects of this. I just think it's kind of peculiar that you see kind of this like Stargate looking thing at CERN. So there's that. And now here's the other thing that kind of throws me for a loop. When you hear about these seances, you know, people are electromagnetic in nature, but they can come together and basically open doors or open portals. And let's see if I can get it to pop up here. Yeah, CERN is definitely a portal. Oh, I see a few more people have popped in. But yeah, as you see here, these seances that people do are, what they're really doing is opening a portal. Now, it could be a spiritual portal, but one thing that people I don't think are aware of is that our brains or our pineal gland is a sort of portal, right? It's what they call the third eye, or the eye of Ra, or eye of Horus, or whatever they call it. So basically, it's in fact, I'm going to pull up the eye of Horus. You can, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these images, but they're these Egyptian images here. It basically is a picture of the pineal gland compared to this eye of Horus. And it's freaking weird, I'll tell you what. I think that the Egyptians were onto something about portals, because I think they realized that you can actually enter into a portal through your pineal gland, but you're actually leaving your body. So that is another thing that I realized about the, the missing 411 information. He was interviewing somebody that said that, or no, he got an email from somebody that was saying that, well, this guy went into a trance and he ended up like, they were camping, him and his wife were camping, and maybe some kids, I forget, but he ended up hauling down to this lake in a trance, and he basically, his wife was screaming at him like, "What are you doing? Come back here!" And then he would not respond to her because he was in a trance, and he ended up just walking into the lake like he was going to drown himself. And he said that, what had happened, his wife, ran up to him and like was grabbing him and shaking him and stuff, and he ended up like snapping out of it. And he basically said that he remembered when he was in this trance that he was hearing this like heavenly music, and he was being drawn into the direction that he was going. So he was being taken over by something, and he was being lured in by some deceptive force, and it was literally trying to kill him. And now there's something to be said about this. Now I've done a lot of research about near-death experiences, and I've kind of realized that a lot of experiences are hell experiences. There's a lot that are heaven experiences. But the weird thing about the one where this guy's being pulled or drawn into this lake to drown himself, he freaking said that he was hearing heavenly music and he was being drawn into this beautiful sound or whatever, this light or whatever it was. So I think that somehow this eye of Horus or your pineal gland is a literal gate. It's like a doorway. It's a doorway into the spiritual realm. Now, you might consider the spiritual realm the underworld, or you might consider it, entering through the gates of Hades. There might be other gates, that lead somewhere else, like heaven. But it says narrow is the road that leads. It doesn't say to heaven; it says to righteousness. But it says it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. I think it's weird. Like, I think there's something about how we present ourselves that allows our pineal gland to be a gate for something. I think that if we're in tune with God and his frequency, that we are allowing our minds to connect with God. But if we allow ourselves to enter into a life of evil and the lust of the flesh, so to speak, I think that we're allowing our minds into another portal, which is actually a portal into the freaking gates of hell or the underworld. There's a lot to this, and honestly, I don't know how to address it all. But I'm telling you right now that there's something interesting about what I'm embarking on. And the thing that flips me out a little bit is, the missing 411 guy, Dave Politis. I question if his son was somehow infiltrated by some sort of demonic force, because he was suffering from the bipolar depression and stuff, and he was I wanted people to realize that when they say that people get suicided when they're sharing information that they shouldn't be sharing according to the government, unless I kind of wonder if he was suicided by a freaking demonic force. He was suicided by a demonic force, even though he was the one that might have done the deed, so to speak. I think that he was, the guy that was just the vessel, and this demonic force ended his life. They talk about the enemy still killing and destroying. I think this is all very interesting information, and that's kind of the direction that I'm going with this. And I wonder if anybody else kind of sees where I'm going with this. You're creating portals with everything that you do. We're electromagnetic in nature, and we have the ability to connect with portals, whether it be to God or to the devil, so to speak. So do you guys have any thoughts on what I'm talking about with all this stuff? I'll check what you guys are saying in the chat here. Wow, you guys have said a lot of stuff. Hold on, let me go back. The Book of Enoch. Let's see. Okay, this is where Enoch came in. Oh no, Enoch just went to bed, 4:50 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty late over there. Buried Axe Blade says first 8 chapters are much more clean than after 8. Chapter 8 of Enoch. Yes. Yeah, I think that there's a lot about the Book of Enoch that, I don't really know all the ins and outs of it. I haven't done my share of research lately. I would think that it would be more fair for me to do a little more research in order to speak on it. Enochian time is 90 minutes, hours. Changed my life, switching to 90-minute rather than 60 minutes. Interesting. I don't really know anything about that, but I'm always open to other perspective. CERN is definitely a portal, of course. Let's see. Add mRNA and 5G recipe to possession. That is another thing that I actually would like to talk about. I think that people are being made into vessels of, in fact, I got to show you something else. this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and I gotta show you. So this thing that I just heard recently, CDC zombie attack 2020. So they have something called zombie preparedness, CDC. They're talking about the zombie apocalypse, right? Wonder why zombie apocalypse preparedness continues to life. So I started looking at this because it's trending. Like everybody's talking about it right now. And why in the world is the CDC talking about zombie preparedness? You know, the reality is they put this out, I think in 2011. Where's the thing that says that? If you haven't actually looked into this, you guys should check it out. How about this one? Forbes, a zombie apocalypse prediction for 2021. CDC has preparedness guide. So with that said, you got to wonder if that's kind of the goal that they had all along, was to get people to turn into zombies. You know, there isn't more of a zombie state to be in than to be taken over by a demonic entity. So you're basically, I don't know. You see where I'm going with all this? I mean, it's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, look into the zombie apocalypse. Because apparently the CDC is planning for it. Let's see. Sorry, you guys. I'm having a little bit of lagging on my internet, but hopefully you guys hear me loud and clear. So Enoch says, let's see. I myself have come to the conclusion that the brain is not a physical source where everything is stored. I agree with that, but it acts as a Wi-Fi modem between the physical flesh and the spirit. Yep, I totally agree with you on that. I wish you loads of luck on your journey. Hang on, it gets really real quick. The only way through what is fixing to happen to you is to find the truth. Be sure to examine your spirit, or examine each spirit. I'll examine my spirit, and I'll examine the other spirits. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, Twerk Auditor. I don't know if you're peacing out or if you're saying bye to Enoch, but anyways, I'm about an hour in, and I wanted to, you know, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to put them in the chat. You know, if anybody wants to jump on, you're more than welcome. I actually am willing to share my, hold on. I'm going to invite whoever would like to jump on. If you have any questions, and you can discuss it with me, because I think that this is crazy. I don't know, Meteor Man, if you're still here, that would be cool if you jumped on. Let's pop this one up here. I've pretty much covered all the stuff I'm going to cover. So if you guys want to visit with me, I would like to talk to you more about this topic. It's freaking weird, deep, and I think that everybody should look into it a little more. But again, I feel like they probably are creating zombies out of the people, not only for their willingness to just obey, but I also think that people should realize that, you know, if they have that RNA, you know, jab or whatever, I feel like, you know, what if they are changing the frequency of your mind portal? What if it's going to allow something to come into you and you'll literally turn into a zombie. Not necessarily the way that the zombies. Oh, you got some time? Freaking jump on, man, if you can get it. So yeah, this topic is way over my head. Yeah, if you're interested in unpacking a little bit with me, I would like that. You know, I've definitely thought outside the box with a lot of stuff I talked to you about. So I'm glad that you're willing to look outside the box with some of the stuff I'm talking about. So, and I really, you know, ask that for anybody that's willing to think outside of the box. So let's see, the mutation on society. Yeah, so that's kind of the point of all this is I feel like, you know, our minds aren't just vulnerable to things like this, but I feel like there's something more electromagnetic about what's happening. It's science. It's science. I feel like there's you know, things that people need. So I guess in that sense, the reason it seems so dark to me, you know, with this topic, is I think that I'm being tormented, and without, you know, the true power of the Holy Spirit manifesting on you, then I'm probably barking up the wrong tree with a lot of this topic. And oh, Meteor Man is here. Meteor Man, are you still with me, sir? Are you with me? Hopefully, here, let me close some of these windows out and see if it helps with the internet. Oh, dropped out. All right, well, I'm going to close out some of my windows in hopes that it will help my internet. And I think, here, let me just read this from Buried to Exploited here. Zombie is a bad word for possessed because it makes them mindless rather than diabolical. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. Can you hear me now? Meteor Man, can you hear me now? Meteor Man, check 1, 2. The heck, man? Well, hopefully the internet starts kicking in here. I'm closing out some more windows because I had a ton of windows up. Hopefully my internet is not lagging here because of all these windows up. Sorry, Meteor Man, but I don't know if the internet is working in your favor here. All right. Well, while that buffers, and you know, as you're popping in here, I'm gonna finish reading this. Yeah, rather than diabolically chessing physical bodies of humans, taking over the brain while disposing the mind. See, that's what I'm trying to say. And it is, you know, people, the way they perceive zombies to be brainless, you know, they eat brains or whatever. And I think it's not demonic, it's diabolic. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Meteor Man, but the internet doesn't seem to be working for you, or from my side, I'm not sure. So I don't know if anybody else, if you haven't given a thumbs up, give this video a thumbs up. You know, if, gosh, I'm really delayed on this. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Okay, well, it looks to me like I tried to get in. Yeah, it's not working for some reason, man. Not sure. I saw you were trying to get in, but it just never finished buffering. I don't know if you need to go to a better internet spot or what, but anyways. So dispossessing. Yeah, you know, again, let me go back to that guy, Dave Paulides, and his son, Ben. I kind of wonder if, you know, not only was he experiencing some really extreme emotions over a lot of the things that he's dealing with in his life, but I kind of feel like that was kind of a gate that opened up in his mind, and he was being tormented. And, you know, a lot of it could have been his own, you know, desires to, you know, take his own life. But at the same time, I kind of wonder if he freaking was suicided. He was suicided by the evil powers that be. You know, I don't really know if that's true, but I mean, just think about it. With all the stuff that I'm seeing and with all these missing people, you know, all these missing people might have freaking, you know, been taken over by these demonic forces. And, you know, don't get the mindset that demonic actually is like some fictitious type, you know, spirit or whatever. I mean, this is like, the more I look into this, the more real I'm starting to realize that, you know, this happens. You know, I'm kind of exposing myself to, you know, I guess you could say attack to go down this road. It's been a dark journey the last few weeks for me. I actually feel like it's been kind of an attack. And now a lot of it has to do with me being overwhelmed by the thought of, you know, someone losing their kid, like a 2-year-old just going missing. But I don't know. I mean, there's just something about that is, you know, it kind of throws me for a loop, and it just makes me freaking depressed. So, and not to mention, I've been feeling like maybe there's been a lot of attack with my relationship with my wife and things like that. I feel like there's a lot of things that is exposing me and my family to things. And you know, there was a comment that was made that demons are afraid of God, but not afraid of Jesus. I've heard a lot of near-death experiencers say that the name of Jesus is actually something that demons are afraid of. But can I go and verify that? I mean, does that mean I have to go die and enter through the pineal portal? You know, I think that there's just something extremely interesting about all this. You know, Meteor Man couldn't get on because of some sort of internet issue, potentially. If anybody else is interested in visiting, let me know. I'm probably going to be on here for a little bit longer. If anybody has any thoughts or anything like that, just keep entering them into the comments. So Buried Axeblade says demons are evil by force, devils are evil by what is that? Corrosion or coercion? Forgive me, my abilities to read are limited. Why did they take missing people off milk cartons? It's because they're probably embarking on something that the demonic side of things doesn't want you to know. And again, you know, the interesting thing with the way the guy Joe Hauser from the Montana Vortex, he was saying that there was like UFOs and freaking Bigfoot that are coming through these vortex, and I think that's just interesting. You know, there's a lot more to the other realms that we're not aware of, I think. Russ Dizdar actually was in a conference that my dad went to. My dad actually met him, and I wonder if my dad has his contact information. I would actually like to. Eventually I will interview Russ Dizdar. Looks like Axeblade is on here. See if the internet works for him. Come on, man. Oh, can you hear me now? Is there a delay? Axeblade, are you there? Can you hear me now? It's frozen. Hopefully, let's see. You're blinking, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on. I'm going to put in the comments that I'm... you're on Axe Blade. Can you hear me? I don't know. I see that Axeblade is on, but for some weird reason, I can't hear you. And it seems like you're just kind of sitting there. It's frozen. Anyways, what the heck, man? Here, I'll kick you out and see if, yep, it looks like you're getting kicked out on your own anyway. Okay, so anyways, so Axeblade was trying to get in, and for some reason, the internet's just not working right or something. I don't know. Could be on my end. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, Russ Dizdar is somebody I'll probably eventually have on my show. I think it'd be pretty awesome to have him on. So yeah, this kind of goes into the mindset of nightmares and lucid dreaming as well. So you say, I destroyed my nightmare lucid dreaming by learning to say Jesus in my sleep. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Well, gosh, 2 attempts to bring somebody on and freaking the internet's shoddy. See if my computer is like, oh, it seems like my computer is kind of hot. I think my computer's on its last leg, guys. So, let's see. Well, I think I'm kind of wrapping up at this point because I'm not getting anybody to stay on, and nobody's really active in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I appreciate everybody listening. If you haven't given a thumbs up, please click the thumbs up, or a thumbs down, I guess, if you want. Oh, I thought you went to bed, Enoch. Yeah, English is overrated, by the way. I think it's great that you would even try, to be honest with you. So, oh my gosh. My buddy is on. My buddy Toto of Oz. Looks like I'm really lagging on this. So missing children on milk cartons could be dedication of sacrifice to Moloch. Dude, that's freaking crazy, man. You sound pretty crazy. I'm just kidding. No, I think that could be true. honestly. Yeah. Hey, I'll probably call you in the next day or two, just so you know, my friend. So Meteor Man says, I'm thinking the wax jab will fire up a brain fried zombie national disaster. Yeah. Yeah, so Buried Axeblade says thumbs are actually equal in terms of YouTube algos. Yeah. Yep. So if you hit thumbs up or thumbs down, it basically says you're being interactive on the algorithm. So either way is fine. You can let me know if you don't like my video as well. You can even tell me how you feel in the chat. Anyways. Yeah, if Enoch, if you ever want to just have a one-on-one, let me know. I can do a live. Well, I could do a StreamYard stream without getting on the live. I can, or I can do a Facebook Messenger or a FaceTime. I don't know how FaceTime works overseas. I've never tried it. But I know that I've talked to somebody on Facebook Messenger in the UK recently. Let's see. Seems like there's more people chatting here. All it shows is interaction doesn't matter if it's up or down. Yep. So Buried Axeblade, I see that you tried to call in. Hey, Toto of Oz, if you're up for popping in for like a minute or 2 minutes, 2 minutes, you don't even have to show your face. I would say pop in if you can. All you got to do is click on this StreamYard link, and it'll take you into the. It'll prompt you to let your phone access the stream and use your video and whatnot. So if you want to do that, you can. I would love to chat with you, but it seems like my connection is just not that good. Oh, here, I'll take a picture of this. It looks like Enoch has given me his email, so I'm gonna take a picture of that. Yeah, I'll send you an email. And yeah, if anybody wants to email me, it's charlieforbes81 at gmail.com. CharlieForbes 81 at gmail.com. So yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I'm in for about an hour and 20 minutes already, and I think my wife was texting me, and I think she wants me to do the kitchen, so I'm gonna have to do some dishes, I think. So yeah, guys, I'll probably call it a night, and if anybody has any thoughts, just email me or leave a comment in the chat, and you know, whatever. And it looks like there's more people messaging now. Let's see this last. Yeah, Buried Axeblade 81. All right, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for listening to my spiel. If you know anybody that you would like to have on my show, give me some suggestions. I will reach out to the people if I think that it would be a good fit for the show. Russ Dizdar is a great option, and I want to actually bring him on. I talked to my friend Toto Vaz about that as well, to be honest with you. Oh, you said you were looking forward to this talk tonight. Thank you, man. I hope you were able to see a lot of it. I know that you might have popped in a little bit late, but I don't know. Regardless, you can go back and listen. I pretty much had all my tabs open, ready to go when I started the stream. So it looks like I was kind of prepared, I guess. So yeah. So everybody have a good night. Thanks, Enoch, for the last words here, and I'll look forward to. I'll send you a message. Your English will be great, man. You'll do good. Anyways, have a good night. We'll talk to you later. All right, bye.